We are here today to announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1 billion, 300 million, trillion market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have to talk about what is next for crypto as we're approaching this monthly close, and the chances are there that we are going to see a bigger correction first before we are headed higher, before we are in this explosive move to the upside that we are expecting next into the new year and the couple of months that are following, also for altcoins. So that is something that we need to discuss, and we're also going to look at the bullish developments for Bitcoin and crypto as well that are happening at the same time that even might negate a bigger part of the correction. And then we're going to talk about Ecomi and Veve, and we are going to talk about Vechain. I forgot that. Before Ecomi and Veve, we are going to talk about Vechain because there is some huge activity going on Vechain's network. So let's talk all of that throughout this stream. Don't miss it. Stay tuned all the way through. It's the Freaky Friday, guys. It's Friday, and we are looking at Bitcoin at 96,000. But before we start, please keep in mind that I'm not any financial advisor. So please, if I'm talking about correction here or so, that is a possibility to prepare your mind, right? Not to, oh my God, I press the sell button and then Bitcoin pumps to a gazillion trillion, right? As Yellen would have said, at least a parody here. Let's have a deep sip of coffee. Then smash the like button right now, subscribe to the channel with notifications on if you haven't yet, and consider becoming a rare hodler. Big thanks and shout out to all my rare hodlers here around me for supporting this journey, this channel, keeping it relatively shit ad free. And yeah, thank you so much. If you want to become a rare hodler, then you just have to subscribe in that rare hodler tier on YouTube. So very grateful for everyone who does that. And with that, let's jump right into the action. Oh no, actually not. We have one comment here from Green Lantern. GM, Freaky Friday, fat finger the like. Exactly. Fat finger the likes. Try to hit whatever button with your breakfast in hand. Got a time to shill sender one more time. Buy the dips, won't stop. Nice weekend for everyone. Will celebrate Thanksgiving tomorrow. 12-pound turkey already in the brine. I don't know what that is, but yeah. 12-pound turkey sounds like gym food. The proteins are probably then in for that day. Okay, so let's see here Bitcoin, right? What I am observing is this downtrendish thing here, right? And at the same time, I cannot help myself but to recognize something that could look like an ABC correction here of a bigger scale that might be going on for another week or so. It's no guarantee, as I say, but it would be logical to get rejected at 100,000 and undergo a little bit more of, hey, indicators like the RSI on the daily are cooling off for a little bit more until we fire once again, right? It's a possibility we should not discard. And although there is a lot of bullish stuff going on, we should be aware that global liquidity, M2, is front-running Bitcoin by about 10 weeks. Now, we could so we see here, right, the Bitcoin price in blue. I've said this already a couple of days ago that this might be happening. So if we are here right now, somewhere here with the Bitcoin price, I think our correction is already a little bit deeper than this at the moment. So I think this screenshot is a little bit older, but doesn't matter. Because if we have this correction in global liquidity and we are only here, then we might follow this as we've been following global liquidity all the time. Look at this, all the time. Why should it be different right now? So that's what I'm asking myself. So this might be that Bitcoin corrects. You know that if Bitcoin corrects, altcoins correct harder. So Bitcoin corrects 5% or 10%, altcoins might be in the 10 or 20 or 30%. From where we are right now. So be aware of that. In the face of a looming altcoin season, though, these dips might be a present to load up one more time the bags. So I'm learning something here now. Green Lantern says brine is water, wine, spices to soften and spice the bird, soaks 24 hours. Wow. Gflow asks, PH, do you see Omi returning to all-time highs? We will discuss this a little bit later, but I'm going to take this question with me because later we are going to watch a little bit we watch a reaction to a reaction and we are going to react to it, and maybe then someone will react to it. Who knows? But that is coming from the Rare Hodler group, a suggestion, so I'm going to do it, obviously. Do I see it returning to all-time high? It can, but let's discuss later. Okay, but the longer-term picture of global liquidity is up, right? So basically, we're zoomed in here in this small, non-changing area at the moment, right? So on a broader scale, we are expecting the next run of a run-up of global liquidity. So it doesn't make sense to see central banks lowering money cost, basically, interest rate, and then expect global liquidity to go further down when we know that there's extensive money printing happening everywhere, right? Big A says, I'm assuming it's Danny the Bull's take on Omi. That is correctly assumed. But I want to enter a discussion I was not part of, basically. Let's say. Okay, before we talk about this, though, I want to highlight a couple of things. In the meantime, while this dip is happening, we have companies continuing to buy Bitcoin and whales scooping up Bitcoin. And this is something that is new to this channel, that in this scale companies are buying Bitcoin, and it's the beginning of companies allocating money to Bitcoin, right? So for example, Japanese public company Metaplanet is raising 9.5 billion yen to buy more Bitcoin. So this is, I don't know, this is over $1 billion, I think. I believe if you put this in the converter, it's something like probably 2 billion or so. Or actually maybe not, maybe it's less than $1 billion, but who knows. But it doesn't matter. The fact is that this company is buying more and more Bitcoin, and it's not small money. So they are following this MicroStrategy strategy, and it was successful for MicroStrategy. If it's successful for this company and other companies are seeing this, you don't know exactly what's going to happen, right? Maybe, so this is basically game theory that's happening. But the even more bullish news, in my opinion, is this one here. I don't know if you saw this, but Switzerland is studying how Bitcoin mining can balance the grid and use wasted energy. So you remember me rambling about how companies could use excess energy stored in the Bitcoin network instead of discovering how to store it in a battery or so, right? And this is happening now. So we are seeing here the canton Bitcoin strategy, basically meaning the cantons, those are basically the states within Switzerland, right? So basically the advisory government is being ordered to put a report together that analyzes the potential of Bitcoin mining for Bern. Bern is one of the states there, or one of the, like, it's a city. So they are going to use energy that is unused, right? So this is in German, so I'm trying here to translate this literally on the fly. How this energy, so where in the state this electricity production is unused, how this unused energy could be used for Bitcoin mining, together with Swiss Bitcoin mining companies. That would be collaboration of government plus Bitcoin mining companies. And if Bitcoin mining can be used or can participate in the stabilizing of the electricity network. So you know that with this green shift, green energy, some countries, or many countries, maybe all of the countries and states, have problems in stabilizing their networks, as you have these wilder fluctuations. And currently they're doing this with importing, exporting electricity from cross border, especially in the European Union, where everything is close by. The answer to that would be, you have excess energy, you store it in Bitcoin network for mining, you get Bitcoin goes up in price in the meantime, you have lack of energy, then subsequently you spend some of your Bitcoin and you purchase this energy, right? Someone else gets this Bitcoin and uses it for something else, right? Now, if imagine all the countries that are on this green trend, green energy shift, are starting to do that and using Bitcoin as a medium of exchange, for example, within the European Union, right? That first requires Bitcoin-friendly legislation in the European Union, and secondly, it requires everyone to participate, meaning that the hash power mining network is going up whenever there's excess energy somewhere. This is crazy, right? So I think this is like full-blown adoption beyond just buying and hodling Bitcoin. It's making Bitcoin a medium of exchange, a currency of exchange, when in terms of energy. So suddenly it's not only gold anymore, it's something beyond. And this is giga bullish, I would say, giga bullish. I don't know if you realize this, but this is so bullish, it wants to make me buy Bitcoin at 100K. I know better that there might be a correction or so I hopefully can buy some dip or something like that, but this just makes me extremely bullish. And I know it's not now, but it might be next cycle or so that this actually kicking in, or during a bear market, who knows, right? Also, we had Thanksgiving, as we already saw, so we learned something about Thanksgiving here from Green Lantern, but what also was or is happening is tonight, he says, Ali, this 18 hours ago, I have no idea if Thanksgiving is already over, maybe that happened already, but tonight, coiners are going to tell their families about Bitcoin, triggering some sort of Thanksgiving rally. This is why I think Bitcoin is bound for a rebound to 99,000 and technically supported. I could be wrong, which is why I'm leaving tight stop loss. Hey, that might be happening, and this is where I'm saying maybe the pullback is already over, but global liquidity suggests it's not. So maybe there's even a short-term bounce to the upside that can still result in one more time going to the downside. We don't know, but be aware that Thanksgiving might be also where people are telling their family about Bitcoin and altcoins, about Peanut, about Dogecoin, about Pepe, about Apustaya, about stuff like that, right? So this is usually, oh, look at that. Why did you come with a Lambo to Thanksgiving? Yes, because I bought some shitty meme coin on Solana, and then all the 12 family members are tell me about this. How do I download this Telegram bot where I can trade, right? So maybe that's the entry of a like Thanksgiving might be a multiplier for crypto audience, right? Okay. Let's see here. Tiberius says XLM. Andrew Dunlap is here. Hey, what's going on? My wife brined our turkey. Turned out amazing. Wow. That sounds good. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you guys there. Maybe belated. Still don't know exactly when and how, but it turned out amazing means the turkey is already eaten, the coins are already shilled, and that means, can we expect with a 3-day delay that all these new crypto dudes are coming in? I would say yes. Why? Because, for example, you're at Thanksgiving dinner, you shill your coins, but these people still have to get up from the table, go to sleep. Then next day, maybe weekend or so, they're sitting down on the computer and they go to an exchange and they do have to do KYC and so on. So maybe they're coming in now, they're discovering, they buy $50, $100 here and there, they see it go up and then bam, full FOMO, they're going to go in, right? Thanksgiving was yesterday. It's 1 a.m. Friday now. Okay, belated Thanksgiving. Thanks for letting me know. So it's basically Thanksgiving ended 1 hour and something ago. So everyone is now trying to sleep, knowing that they have to FOMO into coins. Okay, we looked at that. The only other thing, is it's a little bit blurry, but I hope you can see this. So the other thing is that the total whale holdings and monthly percent change, right, is so total whale balance is through the roof. It's crazy. We saw that long-term holders sold quite a bit, or we will see it in a second. But whales are stacking. So what's these whales? Probably ETF wallets that are just scooping everything up. But what we see here is that negative difference 30 days is actually there is some massive selling going on right now. Long-term holders in the last here we see it, in the last 30 days sold roughly more than 500,000 Bitcoin, probably to ETFs, institution, larger investors, significantly lower than 970,000 sold during the previous bull market peaks, suggesting they are in no rush to sell at these levels. Now, there is massive sell-off in this rally, but it's not peak sell-off. It's more like this blip here, something like that, right? Suggesting that we are more in this area of the rally, like mid-rally. I think maybe there's something more coming. Once we're blasting through the 100K, there is more sell-off is increasing after that. But will we have a pullback before that? Maybe so. By the way, guys, we have 40 people here at Crypto Morning Coffee. Thank you so much, and smash up the like button. Please smash the like. It's very important for YouTubers to get the likes. Unfortunately, it's like that. Not only people watching, but really hitting the like button says, hey, you can watch this, right? So then YouTube will suggest it to other people. Okay. Bully Assassin says, what's your price prediction on Vechain? Do you think it will pass all-time high? Yes, coming to that basically now. Okay, so maybe actually we don't have to listen to that. Let's jump directly into the crypto market. And the crypto what the heck is this? I was on the top 200 and I just see this AI16Z is pumping out of nowhere. But that's not the objective. Let's talk about Vechain, because there's actually something going on with Vechain at the moment that we can talk to. And that is Vechain chart, right? So you are asking about my target. So let's say independently from all fundamentals. First of all, Vechain is a multi-cycle coin already. It is established somewhere in the top 100, around the top 50. Vechain has a massive audience, a massive following. Vechain is playing the fiddle on something between green trend and RWA, which makes it a little bit more bullish than other coins in my opinion. My trajectory here would suggest that we are going to see Vechain going up to all-time highs, maybe a little bit beyond, but I would say revisit all-time high, which would be a rough 5x from, a little bit more than a 5x from here. I would say definitely revisiting all-time high. I would say a 5-wave push to a new high is definitely in the cards, which would be somewhere beyond 48, 50 cents, in my opinion. Tiberius asks, are you Swedish, Danish, or Norwegian? None of these. I am German. Although I was born in the north of Germany, and I have some ancestors in Denmark. So I am none of these, but it was very close. It was very close. North of Germany born, now living in the south. It is what it is. So I think Vechain is in the beginning of a wave 3 push, and this wave 3s for Vechain, they're always extremely explosive, right? So we have seen behavior like this before, right? Basically, let's just compare this from the previous cycle, right? You have this bear market activity, you come out of it in a cup and handle sort of style, right? You have this bear market activity, you come out of it in this cup and handle sort of style here, right? So you see the similarities, only that our bear market here was basically at where we came out in the last time for Vechain, right? So the next part, in my opinion, is this push to the upside. So in here, the next part would be this push to the upside, coinciding with Bitcoin dominance dropping and altcoin season starting. So I believe that for Vechain, this is happening. And since the Vechain following is so big, that Vechain will do extremely well throughout this market, because they already have the following on. There are many YouTubers, there is social media following on X, they have these big partnerships that give visibility, like UFC partnership, they have the new sustainability platform, they have a lot of enterprises working with them, and they have big network activity now. Okay, so somehow what happened is there's a huge spike in network activity on Vechain. Mainnet activity is on rocket ship mode today with almost 3 million clauses and 1 million VTHO burned. Something is cooking behind the scenes. So we are seeing this here, basically this big spike in mainnet activity and this massive VTHO burn, right? So almost 1 million VTHO burned on these clauses. It might be something closer to month end where some mass minting is happening, right? But we cannot say for sure. We actually don't know, or I don't know actually where it's coming from. I was looking for it. I couldn't see it. Someone says Thanksgiving Day. I don't know. Maybe a lot of turkeys have been minted as eaten or so in whatever app. I have no idea, to be honest, right? Walmart burns like every few months. Maybe that's the Walmart burn when Walmart is minting a lot. Who knows? But it's good to see, because these are metrics where investors say, okay, let's buy this, right? So this could be where investors are filling their bags on Vechain. Overall, I would say the next to come for Vechain, whether there is a pullback now or not, right? Whether there's a pullback now or not, the next to come for Vechain is the breakout. Now, let's go into the non-logarithmic for Vechain as well. So this is how it would look in the non-logarithmic. So let's say, what's the next target? Let's not speculate too much on how high it could go. but the next target, right? So let's just say we have our cup and handle here in the weekly, right? This is weekly wicks. So we would take the lowest point of this cup and put it as a breakout, right? Put it somehow as a breakout. That would be 8 cent, right? And at around 8 cents for me is also first profit taking. That would be double from here, right? Something at 8 cents. Let's and that also is here where I would say this next resistance, small resistance encounter in this wave. So let's say we have a breakout here, we have a retest here, we go layer parabolic, next pullback here, right? And then go. It's like it is also drawn in here on this trajectory, right? So I would say that is how it could look. The TSI is looking for expansion. So usually when we have a bull cross on the TSI, we have a massive expansion first before things are going into cross, right? So I'd say even though smaller pullback, even though another weak pullback, the TSI and the MACD and so on, everything looks pretty bullish for Vechain. And then we are going to look at this a little bit later. I like the logarithmic view a little bit more because you're looking at multiples, right? You're looking at where you would be at all-time highs and so on. So I think there's still a lot to come for Vechain. Okay, great. So question is, how is retail doing in the Google Trends right now? And retail, the funny thing with retail search is only if it's printing if Bitcoin is printing new highs, and only if it's at all-time high, and only at the worst time to buy, retail is coming in, right? So right now, as we are consolidating a little bit, no one's looking anymore for Bitcoin. Even though we are sitting at 96,000, which was unthinkable before, right? This is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah. So I hope you saw this on Vechain, by the way. My chart was somewhere there in the corner, but I hope you saw this. Anyways, let's talk about quickly the monthly close and Bitcoin dominance, okay? So this is the weekly chart on Bitcoin dominance. We have switched this arrow to the downside now that we have broken it. I think this is accurate, that now this is the time. We had this arrow to the upside for the better part of 2 years or something like that. Now it's time to look at, and this can still change. The weekly close is in 2 days and 17 hours. Altcoin, like Bitcoin dominance falling in this way, initiating altcoin season. If we close in this wedge, I would say we are not there yet. If we somehow get a correction out of altcoins and we close in this, inside this wedge, I would say it's still not confirmed, right? But at the current time, we are seeing that we also bounce here a little bit. We need to wait the 2 days, 17 hours to get our Bitcoin dominance close outside of this wedge. And then I think we can expect more falling, right? Then we can expect fall more, come up, bearish retest, go, like something like this, right? We need to wait for confirmation, real confirmation. We don't have it. Monthly close as well as weekly. Yeah, exactly. So the week closes in 2 days and 17 hours. The month closes as well. So if we're going in the Bitcoin monthly, and this puts your perspective, right? This is the monthly, and the monthly is looking extremely bullish, right? Let's go into another. Let's stay in this chart. You guys can see it still, like even with all these lines. By the way, those of you who are subscribed to this channel, we have drawn in this parabola way back here, right? Way back here. And it's just it's just so accurate. It's to the T. It's crazy, right? With a price target of Bitcoin top at 135 to 140,000, right? Something like that. But it's accurate. Look how this parabola is bouncing, basically, right? It's insane. Next candle should bring us way up here as this parabola increases until you are dropping out of it, right? Until you're going sideways, until you have your top formation. So we will get a monthly close very likely until, except if we have like a super wild price swing today. Usually on the weekends there's no price action or not much price action. We very likely close the monthly under 100,000, but very closely under 100,000. I would expect 96 to 97,000 for the monthly and the weekly close here. And then we will see what happens, right? Because also on the monthly you could get the monthly can start, the next month, December, can start with this correction to the downside and then rally again, right? We have seen that before here also. We had a start in this candle. It went down a couple of thousand to 65,000 before it fired. You see this wick to the downside first. So maybe that's also what's going to happen for December candle. Overall, again, we are expanding on the bullish indicators. The bullish indicators are not saying yet cross to the downside, and our target for this indicator is not reached yet. So the monthly candle would confirm that we are on the steep trajectory that would let us top out somewhere already in early next year at this current time. If we don't consolidate on a monthly basis, we would already reach our top in February, which would be very soon, but it could happen, right? The other one to look at is this. We have an RSI of 75. We are in parabolic territory and we're expecting to go like this, right? Like here. We're expecting to go to 90 plus on the RSI. The RSI, though, is not the only thing. And quite frankly, we are looking every day at these indicators, so I think that's enough. Let's go to the part where we had a question before, and that is, let's talk a little bit. Let's talk quickly. Let's look quickly altcoins. So altcoins are on the move for wave 3, right? We have talked about it yesterday. We had our bounce. We are moving higher. The candle is green. Also here, a weekly close coming up in 2 days for the altcoins. Total 2 has broken out, and the target for the breakout for total 2 is 2 trillion. Yeah, of which 1 trillion would be for the others. Yeah, others has not broken out yet. So we are still looking for that. Probably the breakout is only happening delayed. We see it here. You see this here. If we zoom way in, right? The others they had a rejection, a bigger rejection here, and they are coiling up again. Others wants to break out. Maybe it's December, somewhere in December. But once others are breaking out, all these top 11, from 11 to downwards coins are going to fly. Left, right, bam, flying. It's crazy. It's going to be crazy. And this mega dip for buying, it's almost over, right? It's almost over with this. Maybe there could be more consolidation here. We don't know. We don't have a crystal ball, but altcoins are about to fly. What we definitely know is that here, altcoins are on the move in the top 10. Top 10 is on the move. That means we're probably in overlap phase from phase 2 to phase 3 of the altcoin season. Hey, Marco Kaiser, Vechain, absolutely. We just talked about it, so you have to go back. I don't know, or you are at this part. I don't know, but we just talked about it. Spent about 10 minutes on Vechain at least. So very glad to have the Vechain fam here. If you're interested in Vechain, subscribe to this channel. Very important. USDT dominance. quickly. So USDT dominance, we could have a little bit more allocation, which would result in another crypto pump, but we are expecting a bounce here at some point. And these bounces, they will lead to bigger sell-offs in crypto. So this could be our correction, right? This could be we could pump a little more and then we have the correction. We don't know. This could be our correction. Not sure, but once we lose this level here of confluence, this big fat level, this inverse head. So Bitcoin USDT dominance falling means money allocated to the market, right? Big time. Means tether allocated to the market. Okay, so we have a big head and shoulders here that would close, and once we lose this is where everything goes parabolic, ballistic, bananas, right? So on a non-logarithmic scale, taking a measured move for this head and shoulders and saying we break down, this would be the move. Now you have to keep in mind that our rally from the bull flag in Bitcoin was only this. So this is smaller than what we would expect here as a measured move for this fall of USDT, like big money allocation. You take the entire USDT supply and you would go from 4% dominance so from 100%, you would allocate 50%, more than 50% to the crypto market from everything that is in USDT right now. That is the money, that is the target that is coming in. Sub 2% USDT left over. Plus, there's new money coming into USDT. Sven says, Vechain fan too. Absolutely, we are fans of Vechain. We like Vechain. We love Vechain on this channel. 100%. Okay. What we used to love is showing some signs of potential recovery. Okay. Potential. Please keep that in mind. Ecomi. Okay. As the FUD intensifies, as the doubt is on a new level, you basically have this trend here on the daily where there is some kind of an inverse head and shoulders playing out, which could break out very, very soon-ish, right? Okay. How does that look? That looks like, so what was a clear downtrend before is now an unclear pattern, an unclear sideways. But we could have a break to the upside for Ecomi, as some people are capitulating. Yesterday I saw someone that said, sold my 90% of my Ecomi, doesn't matter anymore, right? Praveen says global M2 has fallen, big correction should be coming for the BTC. I hope. Yeah, exactly. That's what we were showing and talking in the beginning of the stream. Exactly that. So I'm of your opinion. ADA moving now. ADA could be really bullish with what's going on with Charles Hoskinson. So for Ecomi on the daily, we are going to take a close look on this, and maybe there's going to be a break to the upside, and then if there is a break to the upside, the question is, will we be able to come back into such a range and somehow form this bottom-ish base, right? Is it possible? We will see, but we would have to take out at least these levels here and consolidate on a higher level, which would then tell me, okay, maybe it's time to buy. Maybe, right? That I would wait for this technically, and then maybe it would be time to buy for me. But I will have to wait and see. On a little bit more macro, right? also we see this big indecision candle here where wicks are to up and downside, so some buying pressure came in here, but still I want to see on a weekly a little bit more than that, right? I want to see a recovery that goes that is a little bit stronger, because I mean we have to see a turnaround first. But the good thing is, if we break out here this daily pattern, maybe we are getting into something like this, right? Into a TSI cross on the weekly for Ecomi as well. That could be it. But the Veve app doesn't help at the moment with the excitement, right? Not that much. But we are going to tomorrow. There's a good drop on Veve. We will have fun with that probably. Some altcoins ripping. So we see Veve mobile app updates. Team is working hard on providing ongoing updates to our mobile apps since launch. We have been busy responding to feedback and updating the app. First update, original V2 app. Latest update, scrolling momentum adjusted. Mint numbers add to collectibles into 3D view. That's cool. Addition, fixes and enhancement, including load time. More to come. This is the most important thing. If the app, no matter how it looks, has like on secondary market, you click you want to buy an NFT and it loads like within sub 1 second, it's such a huge improvement. It's a game changer in my opinion, because load times are literally what keeps me from browsing the market at the moment. I cannot emphasize this enough. But what I really like is quick reaction, quick fix to problem, quick communication. It is improved. Yeah, that is an improvement. Yeah, okay. ADA moving now, XLM ripping again. We're going to react to something from Veve here very soon. But let's quickly look at those altcoin moves, right? Let's look quickly at XLM because it's being commented here. XLM USD. Okay, let's see. Oh my god. Yeah, true. Extreme rip to the upside from XLM. Also, like let's see if we have a better chart here. Kraken has a little bit more. Is there something more? Binance. Yeah, there you go. Like, so what I would say is, so you have this resistance, right? And you have this kind of like a bullish pattern here where you double bottom W. I don't know if once this is broken to the upside, XLM is going on moon mission. Yeah, it's going on a parabolic move. But look at this, like the indicators are completely out of everything. Like they're super high. It could correct it's fairly deep before we do that, right? Would coincide. Let's look at XRP. I think it's the same. XRP is the same, like big fat breakout, breakout target very likely met. You have the same here, all-time high challenge. There is a corrective move expected at some point, right? So be very careful chasing green candles. Yeah. Okay, back to Veve. On the Veve app, we now see not only gem listings but also stacker world listings, right? So we have this market filled with gem listings, but also OMI listings, right? We see it here. Here, collectible NFT listed in OMI tokens, right? There is a theory that they designed the web app, like the mobile app, shitty on purpose to drive everyone to stacker. That could be a reason, but I don't think so, because like you want to have people on mobile app doing that, right? Okay, so let's go to this here. So there is this is on Randy Chavez, but this is Randy. This is Crypto Rain, and this is Doctor of Stuff, and they stream this on each channel, right? So they have this talk about Ecomi, I think once or twice per week. I don't know exactly if it's once or twice per week. And they are reacting to a fourth one, which is Danny the Bull, who has recently shifted it, or recently, like over the last months, shifted his focus a little bit to other crypto projects. Like, great guy, but he's talking about, like, they are reacting to why he left Omi. So let's listen to this a little bit.
Well, the NFT to get the OK world. It's happening more and more with NFT projects. That is cool. That is dope. Well, company, tech environment, you can see that they're not special. No token gate.
1 second,
I mean,
that is a little
Karen
bit
is the one. They're doing a
more
lot of
down the
stuff.
line here.
Chain.
Here.
Okay, so let me know if, like, hey, people who are watching, let me know if you can.
So it's right at the 33-minute mark we're looking for.
Yeah, it's look, I mean, yeah, because here's the question. It says, are you still in Omi, Danny? So, like, and then he just gives his thoughts, right? So let's see if I can share the audio.
So no, I'm not. I haven't been in Omi. I sold it a few months back. I've explained it. I hope it does well. I'm not someone who sells something and then hopes it goes down or roots against it. I'm rooting for it. I know a lot of people who hold it. I want them to do well. Why I sold it was a couple reasons. One,
First of all, I really like this attitude to say, hey, look, I don't wish anything bad, but I can't be in this project anymore. Okay, so that is not what everyone does. There are some people that are selling and then they try to take part in the downfall so that they are right in the end, right? So that they can feel good about their sale. It needs to go to zero if they sold, because they want to be right on this. They don't want to be the ones that sold a project that then goes 100x or so, right? But so I really like this attitude here of Danny.
is it's a second cycle coin in an old narrative. Okay. I prefer first cycle coins in hot narratives. It's a second cycle coin in an old narrative.
Can you pause that real quick?
Team.
So this take, like, it's an old coin in an old narrative, right? There are two things in it. First of all, we just saw it. We just looked at it literally 2 minutes ago. XLM and XRP are both old coins in an old narrative, and they basically have a vertical moon mission, I don't know what, pump at the moment, right? Because the circumstances, the environment for the coin are good, right? So I don't think that's an argument, right? And what Danny says is he wants a new coin because new coins are always in basically in price discovery or forming new patterns and attract people. Because in the last cycle, it was a thing that all the new coins did better than the first cycle coins, that the very first coins. And I think it also has to do with that the coins that did come out in the very first cycle, they weren't really good. And also many of them went out of business, bankrupt, or died, right? So I see the point, but you also have some projects or many projects that came out this cycle that are not doing particularly well, right? And then again, you have old cycle ones that are doing well and that are playing in the hot narrative, like AVEX, for example. AVEX was already around in the last cycle. Now we have off the grid on the cycle, and AVEX is looking very good, right? Or Solana is a last cycle coin, and this cycle particularly is a Solana cycle, where the last cycle Solana had problems. Now this cycle is L1 being not so hot narrative, right? Solana is doing extremely well because TVL is high, volume is high, DEXs, projects building on it. So I don't think it's that picture perfect to say this, but let's continue listening.
Team that has.
Sure.
So when you're saying old narrative, I mean, memes are the current narrative right now. So does that mean everything that's not meme coins is an old narrative and is never going to come back? I don't think so. I think that any narrative that has happened before has the chance to happen again. And I think it's a high probability that a lot of those things happen again. So I just want to point that out when he says it's an old narrative, he makes it seem like it's never coming back or it already happened.
technically everything's an old narrative. Blockchain
Yeah.
gaming had to run last cycle. Memes had to run last cycle. Bitcoin had to run last cycle. XRP, which has been running, is an old narrative. So I think he's trying to make the case, like the old narrative part, what he doesn't believe that the NFT or digital collectible narrative is coming back, I think is what he's saying. And I just think Danny's wrong on that. But this is actually like a difference in investment strategy. Like he's going for first cycle coins, which is okay, like cool. And I don't completely disagree with Danny on that. Most of my stuff is in things that maybe they came out in 2021, but really this will be their first really big cycle. I particularly like Omi because they've gained so much ground in users, like what their app can do and better licenses.
Okay, quickly pause here. So first of all, I think what Danny means with alt narrative is that in the cycle so far, we only saw two big narratives or three big narratives. Three. One is memes, that is very obvious, but the other two are gaming and AI. And what we didn't see is narratives from the last cycle, which were mostly this L1 has so many TPS and so on, and then also DeFi. But we already saw DeFi coins doing really well. And then there were the DEX coins like Uniswap and SushiSwap and PancakeSwap and I don't know what swap, SundaySwap. And yes, some of these narratives have not played. But if you look at the last cycle, for example, the last cycle started with some outliers like Chainlink and then with a very big DeFi narrative that then went into gaming. So some gaming coins like X Infinity, game coins, and then NFTs, right? So I think it's premature when Bitcoin even didn't top out to declare what's an alt narrative and what is happening or not, right? At the moment, the buzzwords flying around are gaming AI and RWA, where RWA is more like a speculation on what could run next, right? This is a Cardano cycle, not Sol. I would say Solana did pretty well in this cycle. So Solana did start off fairly early and is already pretty high, but it did way more access than Cardano at the moment, right? So I would disagree that this is only a Cardano cycle. It was a Sol cycle until now, but it could change with Charles Hoskinson coming in there at the government talks and so on. It could change. It could become a Cardano cycle when also developers see this and now say, okay, maybe Cardano is super safe now and let's build on Cardano, right? But back to this here. So what like the last one of Crypto Rain I also want to discuss.
What he doesn't believe that the NFT or digital collectible narrative is coming back, I think is what he's saying. And I just think Danny's wrong on that. But this is actually like a difference in investment strategy. Like he's going for first cycle coins, which is okay, like cool. And I don't completely disagree with Danny on that. Most of my stuff is in things that maybe they came out in 2021, but really this will be their first really big cycle. I particularly like Omi because they've gained so much ground in users, like what their app can do and better licenses, that I think this cycle they vastly exceed.
Okay, so this is something that I really have to criticize because I like Rain's takes in a lot of altcoins, but here, for example, it's like I like Omi because of something that is on the Veve app. But where is the link? Where's the association, right? So yes, there's now Stacker you can buy, but you can't without full integration and accessibility for the token. You can't really say, oh, this is great in the Veve app, hence Ecomi is super good as a project, right? When you actually do not have this integration yet, right? I mean, maybe his assumption is also, yes, the full integration will be there in the near future, right?
What they did last cycle in their token. And we're going to see how it plays out. So Danny makes an articulate thing, and Danny hasn't like stuck around and jumped on all the Omi things and fudded Omi like people do with an ex-girlfriend. Sometimes relationships and in like people act responsible and they just go their own way, well, that's Danny. And what he's saying is he's in higher risk projects. I think Veve has a very proven track record, and I think that will pan out, that their token could go way up. But he's probably in lower market cap projects, which a lot of my investments are in lower market cap projects than where Veve's at. And I'm looking for this cycle.
Once again, so I think with the current price action, I think Ecomi has hit a market cap of 80 million. So Ecomi is now in the very low market cap, and I would even say Ecomi is high risk, even though that Veve has been as a business around a long time. But I think the risk here is not so much that Veve is dead tomorrow. The risk is more that Veve decides to not integrate the token in the way that it was originally intended and where the predictions came on. So that's what I would say is the risky part here. It's not that the underlying app dies, it's that the token is not substantial to the app mechanics.
Cycle to go well and cool. Like my biggest play isn't even Omi, it's just one of my top plays. And I think Omi brings some stabilization to my very risky portfolio, because I think it has a very low percentage to fail here, and it still has over 100x potential. So I really like the dynamics behind it. Danny's analysis is he doesn't believe that the digital collectibles narrative or Veve narrative or NFT narrative will really hit as strong this time. And I don't agree with that.
I agree with Rain here, and I also disagree that the NFT will not hit strong. I think we have already seen the first signs of Alex Becker going into CryptoPunks and certain NFTs trading for like insane amounts already right now. Also, Google search trend already up from 1 to 2 on the NFT scale. And potentially with a big run out of gaming coins, the NFT narrative is not far away. So I would say that NFTs had their first cycle last time. Really, their first cycle was last bull market. And usually the second, like crypto investors, they like to do at least one more try on something that worked. And that would be NFTs. And NFTs, as we've seen many times here on this channel, they are lagging in their season by almost a year after the after the Bitcoin top, and by almost 6 months from an alt season start. So I think definitely NFTs. There are going to be NFTs, Cardano NFTs, Solana NFTs. There are going to be old school NFTs that are still on Ethereum. There are going to be new high quality digital collectibles from the games, and who knows, maybe the Pokemon company will at some point also reveal that the TCG is NFT and we didn't know it, right? So maybe that's something is
so that's where he's basing that analysis, but it's a well-reasoned, thoughtful analysis, and we'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah, like first of all, shout out to Danny. I really like Danny. I like very smart guy.
I think that's it. I think that was the whole thing. They are going to continue to talk about this a couple of more minutes. If you want to watch this, then one of these 3 guys' channels, subscribe to them and check it out if you're interested in Ecomi and Veve. I think these talks they add to the conversation. Obviously, always take it with a grain of salt, because everyone here is invested in Omi, including me. Not Danny though. So it's always good to hear. I always say, or I always like to see the points where you say, okay, listen more to the critics than to the bulls, because the critics might give you some perspective that you really need, right? Swim Inside says, yeah, I don't see a big dip, guys. At least there is going to be another pump and then maybe the dip. Ada head and shoulders on a smaller time frame. Maybe. Yeah, maybe that's so. I saw this here because there's so many Cardano guys, I saw this here on Cardano as well. Bullish scenarios exists of a 250,000 Bitcoin with Ada testing quadruple 5 levels probably on the Satoshi scale, meaning a $12.5 ADA was so 5,000 sats. Yep, fixed. And yeah, basically that is the TA here that this guy is putting out. So basically that's ADA versus Bitcoin, meaning that so we see that in the last month, so this is the monthly chart, in the last month ADA has outperformed Bitcoin, right? So that's this overlap phase that we're talking about, where some altcoins are starting to outperform Bitcoin already. And we see that this outperformance could go higher, right? Maybe to this level here, exactly like 4,000 sats or so. But as Bitcoin also is higher, then obviously the relation says, okay, then that's X dollars, right? So in this 5,000 sats at 250,000 Bitcoin would be then $12.5 ADA. I think that's too bullish, because I don't think that Bitcoin will go to $250,000 this cycle. But even if it goes to 180K, for example, dollars, and Cardano is outperforming and other altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin, then yeah, there might be some nasty big fat targets that are coming out here. But anyways, guys, that's it. Over an hour of Crypto Morning Coffee here on a Friday morning. This is your morning show, so make sure to be subscribed to this channel for all the crypto, altcoin, whatever insights. Let me know which altcoins you want to see next. Also, forgot my train of thought, but also tick the bell to get notified. Leave a like on this live stream here. And I would say wherever you are on the world, have a great morning, evening, day, night.